Down goes Giratina at a cost of 2 shields. Back out comes Avalok going straight for the hard-hitting overheat. It lands for huge neutral damage. They get one shot. The opponent looking to 2-shield their Charizard. We come in with Magneton, fire the discharge. On the 6th wing attack, we fire off. On CMP, the opponent will now be all shields down. Blast Burn will vanquish Magneton, and it's going to be all up to Moltres. Can we outpace? To win this game, in comes Moltres. This is a very healthy Charizard. We reach the Sky Attack, but is Sky Attack going to be enough? 2 knockouts? Well, you're going to have to watch the video to find out. So welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. A huge Happy New Year to all. And today we are starting the new year with a bang. I've assembled one of the most expensive teams for this format. We have got the XL Shadow Magneton in the lead with double Flyer fire types in the back. Both Moltres and Charizard did require an elite TM, and Moltres required a whole heap of my rare candy. All 3 of these Pokemon are glass cannons. They hit super hard but can't take a hit for shit, which makes shield decisions very difficult throughout the duration of the video. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we see Virizion in the lead. Magneton wants absolutely none of that, so I pivot out into Charizard, and the opponent answers us with Giratina. So unlike our team, Giratina can tank numerous hits. You can see the super effective Dragon Claw hasn't even put them into the yellow. We call that the opponent is going to fire just a Dragon Claw. We are going to make one more Dragon Claw of our own, but still Giratina will not be knocked out. We have managed to gain shield advantage for Moltres, so I'm going to come in to Magneton, look to commit to the very aggressive Thundershock farm down. You can see Magneton resist both Dragon Claw and Ancient Power. However, the Dragon Breath, being a one-turn move, is ripping us apart. This is just another Dragon Claw. Magneton will tank it. We are now getting pretty low. The opponent makes an aggressive swap into Virizion, and here comes the 2-shielded Moltres. The opponent has enough for the Stone Edge, but of course, using a Shadow Pokemon, the opponent tends to bait me. So I'm going to throw 4 wing attacks and the Sky Attack. Sky Attack will be either forcing the final shield or knocking out. The opponent lets it go, and the final Pokemon is the Walrus. I look to throw the overheat. Does the opponent respect the damage? Yes, they do. So we are now going to save our final shield for the Magnet, and we should be good to go. The opponent is going to throw the Icicle Sphere. Icicle Sphere will be vanquishing Moltres. You can see we have overfarmed. The opponent makes what they think is a great catch, but Discharge is going to take care of Giratina. That very aggressive Thundershock farm down meant Wall Rain. No catch is saving you. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Giratina in the lead. This one is actually on Shadow Claw, so I immediately switch out into Charizard. We go straight for the super effective Dragon Claw, looking to get some chip damage off on Giratina. They build to 6. This could be a double super effective Ancient Power, so I am forced to burn a early shield, and the opponent does go straight for the Ancient Power. They now come in to their own Charizard, and I am going straight for the hard-hitting Blast Burn. Blast Burn lands for big damage. The opponent continuing to overfarm. If they go for a Dragon Claw is not going to take me out. We do survive on 1 HP. And a Dream, I undertap my own Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw will either be flipping switch or forcing a shield. The opponent lets it go. They come in to Giratina and look to Shadow Claw farm us down. I now have no option whatsoever other than to come in to my Magnet, as Moltres does not want to take a Ancient Power to the face. We fire off the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb does draw a shield from the opponent. They come in to Virizion. They build up to what could be a Stone Edge. If we correctly shield up a Stone Edge, which we do, we can now wing attack farm them all the way down. Virizion is super bulky, but Moltres doesn't care. We are going to fire off the Sky Attack on a CMP tie. Sky Attack will be drawing a shield from the opponent. Ancient Power will be vanquishing us. Back to our Pokeball, and it's all going to be down to the Magnet. Can we land the Magnet Bomb? And if we do, is Magnet Bomb going to be enough to knock out? The opponent is going to fire off the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw doesn't do too much damage. We get to the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb is only neutral, but the Magnet hits like a fucking truck, and that is all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see a Alolan Golem in the lead. Absolutely dreadful for pretty much our whole team. Let's not kid ourselves. The fire types don't want any of the smoke. The Magnet doesn't really tank charge moves particularly well. We land the Magnet Bomb. I am going to shield up what could be a Stone Edge, and the opponent goes for a Wild Charge. So we know we can tank one, but ouch, that is going to do big damage. Resisted Wild Charge does around 65% of our HP. I continue to overfarm. Fire off one more Magnet Bomb. The opponent lets it go, and I'm immediately looking to pivot out into Charizard. The opponent comes in to Virizion, and we are going to fire off the Blast Burn on a CMP tie. You already know there's no baits on this channel. The opponent calls the bait, and immediately top left. Trainer, did you not get the memo? Moving on to the next one. We see another Alolan Golem in the lead. Absolutely dreadful. The opponent pivots out into Giratina. So things have gone from bad to worse. We land the Magnet Bomb to get some chip damage off on this Giratina. We are going to pivot out into Charizard. I am going to shield up what could be an Ancient Power, as Ancient Power is double super effective. For some strange reason, Niantic thought it would be a good idea to rebuff Giratina. Fuck you, Niantic. We actually go for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is able to take care of Giratina. The opponent's final Pokemon is Ninetales. I've got no idea why the opponent didn't come back into Golem. They're probably scratching their head as well, and then decide to top left. Interesting. Moving on to the next one. Go Battle League has a very interesting way of showing you Pokemon your team really doesn't want to see. We're seeing the third Alolan Golem consecutively in the lead. So we are going to shield up the charge move. This one is actually on Rock Throw, and resisted Rock Throw is doing huge damage. Just the Rock Throws have got us down below 50% HP. We are going to fire off one more Magnet Bomb. If the opponent chooses to shield, we are going to outpace to the next move. We actually go on a CMP tie. So the opponent is going to be forced to either double shield, which they do. You can see my magnet is so low. I don't even know if I will survive the Rock Throw, so I am going to allow it to go down. I'm going to come in to Charizard. The opponent immediately pivots out into an Ice type. The opponent goes for 7 Powder Snows and the Weather Ball. We are going to throw 2 more wing attacks, throw the Blast Burn on a CMP type. Blast Burn will be vanquishing Ninetales back to his Pokeball. Get wrecked, Ninetales. If Golem does come back in, I am going to fire off the Dragon Claw as soon as I get it, because these Rock Throws are going to rip us apart. Back out comes Golem. Dragon Claw will be knocking out, and then we've got one Shield Moltres versus whatever they have in the back, and it's another Charmer. Oh, hello Togekiss. We're going to overfarm for no reason whatsoever. We go for the overheat. The opponent looks to top left, but we fire it anyway, and that is all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one, the tough leads continue. We pivot out immediately into Charizard, and the opponent answers us with Jellicent. Jellicent is a water type, but let me fucking tell you, Charizard really doesn't care. We go straight for the Blast Burn, and it lands for big resisted damage. The opponent is at what could be a Shadow Ball. The squishy Charizard shrugs it off, and we are going to make one more Blast Burn. Blast Burn will be flipping switch or getting a shield, and the opponent chooses to let it go, and we will be left with minimal farm. We have flipped this game on its head. We can now realign, as Moltres is an absolutely hard counter for Virizion. We shield up what could be a Stone Edge, and we get baited. You hate to see it. The opponent's final Pokemon is Gyarados, so we can hit for double super effective. Just these Thunder Shocks are tearing through this Gyarados. The opponent goes for a Crunch. I want to leave some health on this Gyarados, so I go for the resisted move and go for an undercharge. The opponent really strangely shields it up. We die with the charge move, but Moltres does win CMPs. The opponent is going to be forced to commit the final shield or let it go. They choose to shield it up. We can now shield this move up as well, and Moltres will be closing this battle. We shield up the Aqua Tail. The opponent is going to get farmed down. They pivot out into Virizion. Virizion doesn't have enough energy to throw a charge move. Sky Attack takes care of Virizion, and 2 wing attacks take care of Gyarados. GG's. Moving on to the next one. We see another Virizion in the lead, so an instant swip to Charizard, and this opponent switches out into Ninetales with the 1-turn switch. It is quite awkward to time your charge moves. I'm going to go straight for the Blast Burn. Blast Burn does draw a shield from the Ninetales. The opponent is going to fire a Weather Ball. I am going to look to no shield. If I survive, I am going to undertap the Blast Burn. Charizard hangs on with 1 HP and a Dream. We make the second Blast Burn, and the opponent not willing to double shield, so we have flip switch and gain shield advantage from a really tricky spot. We come in to Moltres. I am going to shield up again what could be a Stone Edge, and I get baited yet again. Fuck you, trainer. However, I'm now going to be in the driving seat, as the opponent's final Pokemon is Arourus, so we bank a boatload of energy, switch out into the Magnet. This top meta monster fires off the Meteor Beam, and the squishy Magnet shrugs it off like it's nothing. We go for the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb draws the final shield. The opponent continuing to overfarm for no reason whatsoever, and the Magnet is about to vanquish Arourus. Get fucking wrecked. Just the Virizion remaining, and we've got the Overheat locked and loaded. I don't even need to hit any bubbles, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one. Another Alolan Golem. Home Slice Henry, I thought we were friends. What are you doing to me? We're going to go straight for the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb does draw a shield. Not fantastic. The opponent could be at a Stone Edge, so I am going to respect it with a shield. And thankfully, we correctly shield up. The opponent now pivots out into Virizion. It's 15 turns to a Stone Edge, 14 to a Blast Burn. As I throw a Thunder Shock, I do get outpaced. I call the bait, and for the first time, the opponent isn't baiting. You hate to see it. We are in a tricky spot. I come in to Moltres. I'm not going to be able to wing attack farm down before the next Stone Edge, so I am going to fire off a Sky Attack, not wanting to commit my final shield. Down goes the low health Virizion, back out comes Golem. Overheat is resisted, but someone needs to tell Moltres about typings. I go straight for the Overheat, and to my surprise, the opponent commits the final shield, and they are going to fire off a charge move. There's no point in shielding up Moltres. The opponent goes for a Wild Charge. I could have fired the Magnet Bomb off, as we do win CMP, but I am scared the opponent would look to catch. I'm going to come in to the Magnet. I am going to overfarm as much as possible. I'm close to 100 energy. I fire off the Magnet Bomb, and the final Pokemon is a Dragon Breath Giratina. If they aren't on Shadow Sneak, I've hardly seen Shadow Sneak. We might have a chance of winning this game. We land the Magnet Bomb. We are looking to get to 2 more Magnet Bombs. Dragon Claw won't knock out from this range, and fuck my life, they're on Shadow Sneak. GG's. Moving on to the next battle, we see Ampharos in the lead. As if Alolan Golem wasn't bad enough, Ampharos actually resists everything from the Magnet, as well as destroys our flyers in the back. You hate to see it. We land the resisted Magnet Bomb, and it does quite a lot of damage. The opponent builds up to what could be a Focus Blast. I am going to respect it, and of course they throw a Brutal Swing. We throw one more Thunder Shot, and the Magnet Bomb won't knock out, but is going to get Ampharos super low. The opponent is going to fire off one more Brutal Swing. We will survive this just about. I'm going to look to get off one more Magnet Bomb. This Magnet Bomb won't knock out, but will get Ampharos pretty low. We get Volt Switch down. I come in to Charizard. The opponent is super low, so I know they're going to be spamming out a charge move. Please be Brutal Swing. But of course, they've got Thunder Punch. Ouch. Charizard now deep in the red. The opponent comes in to a Charizard of their own. I'm going to go straight for this Blast Burn. Blast Burn is resistive. It does do big neutral damage. I pivot out into Moltres. A resisted Blast Burn near one shot, so I'm going to have to respect it. And of course, using Shadow Pokemon, I get baited. The opponent's final Pokemon is Ninetales. The only win con is going to be to land the YOLO. I'm going straight for it, and the opponent shits their pants, and this game is now absolutely over. Neutral Weather Ball nearly takes us out, and I'm just going to top left. GG's. Moving on to the next one, another tricky lead. Obstagoon does hit us for super effective with counter, so I pivot out into Charizard. The opponent probably looking to chip and dip. They throw their Night Slash. Charizard doesn't need to shield. The opponent now switches out into Togekiss. Pretty interesting swap. I am going straight for the Blast Burn. Blast Burn does hit for big neutral damage. The opponent lets it go. Charizard wing attacks, farms them all the way down. I'm looking top right. If I see Obstagoon return, they can get Blast Burned as well. I am going to plug my phone in because I'm on 10% and I don't want to die. But Blast Burn is going to land for huge neutral damage. Obstagoon now left deep in the red. I show a Moltres and the opponent says, fuck that, and concede the match. Moving on to the next one. We see Alolan Sandslash in the lead. Pretty tricky for our whole team. Despite running 2 fire types, they don't have the best matchup, as the steel typing of Sandslash does resist both our fire types' fast move of wing attack. I land the Magnet Bomb. I am going to respect a potential Bulldoze, and again I get baited. Fuck you, trainer. Why is everyone baiting the world's squishiest team? Well, what do you expect? We fire off the Magnet Bomb on a CMP tie. The opponent does commit a shield. I can't Thunder Shock down in 5, so I am going to allow the Bulldoze to go through. I come in to Charizard, and the opponent is instantly spamming out into Dragonite. Charizard can hit Dragonite for super effective. The Dragon Claw near one shots. We can't wing attack farm them down. The opponent survives on 1 HP and the Dream. I am going to allow the Dragon Claw to take me out. We come in to Moltres. We get a 1 wing attack head start. What is the opponent gonna do? They are waiting out their timer, and their final Pokemon is Charizard. Sky Attack, pretty lethal. From Moltres, I go straight for the Sky Attack. Sky Attack draws the opponent's final shield. I am going to shield up what could be a Blast Burn. But this masturbating opponent fires off another Dragon Claw. Every time you masturbate a cat does die. The opponent actually now gives me a win con. So guess what, Mr. Opponent? You aren't as smart as you think. I see the switch coming. I hit no bubbles. I leave with the Sky Attack locked and loaded. Charizard, lose CMP, and Mr. Masturbator, you, my friend, are on 0 and I'm on 1. GG's and thanks for playing. Finally, the Magnet wins a lead. Alolan Ninetales gets hit for double super effective from Steel moves. I am worried the opponent is going to look to catch. We fire 10 Thunder Shocks. And the Magnet Bomb would one-shot the opponent, shields it up. I pause a turn, I see the charm animation start, I fire off the second Magnet Bomb. The opponent has committed 2 shields, but Mr. Opponent, you need to throw. The opponent is over farming. What the heck is this person doing? We fire off the second Magnet Bomb. It one-shots Ninetales. We pivot out into Charizard, and the opponent has Giratina lurking in the back. So we're not out of the woods yet, as Ancient Power does hit for double super effective on both our fire types. I am going to shield up a potential Ancient Power. The opponent goes for the power. We are now in the Charizard mirror. I'm going to fire off the Blast Burn. Blast Burn will hit for big resisted damage. Blast Burn gets Charizard into the yellow. I believe this is just a Dragon Claw. I am going to save 1 shield for Moltres. It is a Dragon Claw, but that does KO. Giratina did dump his energy before pivoting out, so I'm going to come in to Moltres, shield once, Wing Attack farm all the way down. This is just a Dragon Claw, but I want to keep some health on my Moltres. We get the Wing Attack farm down. We've got the Sky Attack locked and loaded. Sky Attack is neutral, but Moltres hits like a truck. It gets Giratina into the red, and a few Wing Attacks enough to take that game. Moving on to the next one. After losing about 10 leads in a row, the Magnet has won 2 for 2. Avalugg is staying in, so I'm worried the opponent is going to try and catch. Perhaps that is me overthinking. The opponent does attempt to catch eventually. They come in to Giratina. I'm now in a tricky spot. I'm down a shield, so I look to chip them with a Magnet Bomb, pivot out into Charizard. The opponent is going to fire a charge move. I believe this is just a Dragon Claw, but apparently my counting is wrong. Charizard gets near one shot, but does get off. One more Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw gets this thing deep in the red. And now I am in a really rough spot. I come in to Moltres. The opponent is at another Ancient Power, so I am going to shield it up. We are going to get rid of Giratina, but at a cost of 2 shields. Back out comes Avalugg. I highly doubt the opponent is going to shield it up, so I go straight for the neutral overheat. Avalugg gets vanquished back to its Pokeball. The final Pokemon is Charizard. The opponent is looking to 2-shield it, but we have energy good to go. I fire off the discharge on 6 Thunder Shots. I fire 1 more, throw the discharge on a CMP tie. This will be getting the final shield from Charizard. The opponent is going to vanquish us with a Blast Burn. Stay in school, kids. Learn to count. We was down 2 shields. We've given ourselves a sliver of hope. We come in to Moltres. We outpace to the Sky Attack, but is Sky Attack enough to knock out? Who was worried? GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. We see another Alolan Ninetales in the lead. Let's see if this opponent is going to look to pivot. I'm going to fire 7 Thunder Shocks and the Magnet Bomb this time. As the last one stayed in, I'm just going to throw at good timing. So we're going to throw 4 more and the second Magnet Bomb. The opponent is going to be forced to double shield. If they want to keep it alive, they do double shield. I'm now going to look to outpace to 1 more Magnet Bomb, and the opponent makes a fantastic catch. Catching the Magnet Bomb onto the big fat boy Snorlax. I pivot out into Charizard. Charizard can tank a Body Slam, no problem whatsoever. Well, I say that, it does quite a lot of damage. We're left in the yellow. I'm going to overfarm. I don't think Dragon Claw will be enough to knock out, so I go for the safe play of the Blast Burn. Blast Burn takes care of Snorlax, and the opponent's final Pokemon is Giratina. We're going to chip him with a Dragon Claw. We've still got 2 shields for Moltres. The opponent can obviously one-shot us with an Ancient Power, so we are going to shield up whatever they throw. I'm waiting out my timer, so I can sack if required. The opponent does fire a charge move. They're probably going to bait me, but I really don't care. It's just a Dragon Claw. I'm going to look to overfarm as much as possible. Fire off the Sky Attack. Sky Attack will be taking care of Giratina. I'm seeing the Ninetales come in. I attempt to catch for no reason whatsoever. I'm unsuccessful. I'm going to shield the first one, tank the second. Moltres are pretty squishy, but we are going to survive. I'm only one wing attack away from the overheat. Weather Ball gets me fairly low. We survive one more charm, and overheat is going to vanquish A9. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we lead Shadow Magneton into Shadow Snorlax. Shadow Snorlax can obviously one-shot us with superpower. I'm going to look to throw a Magnet Bomb for some chip damage. I'm going to throw one more Thunder Shock and attempt to catch a superpower on Charizard. The opponent doesn't fall for that trick. They are going to chip us with a Body Slam. Body Slam does do quite a lot of damage. They now pivot out into their own Charizard, and I'm going straight for the Blast Burn. You know there's no bait on this channel. Blast Burn near one-shots when it's Shadow. On Shadow, the opponent looks to wing attack, farm us down, but my high-ranked Charizard says, I think not. Dragon Claw manages to flip switch. I'm not entirely sure if I need switch advantage or not. Let's find out. One more lick takes care of our Charizard. I am going to come in to Moltres. I've got no idea on what that final Pokemon is yet, but I am going to shield up a Body Slam because it does do quite a lot of damage, and the opponent's final Pokemon is Ninetales. I am going to pivot out into Magnet. The little Magnet will be helping get some shields down. Magnet Bomb will one-shot, so the opponent does shield it up. I'm going to throw 4 more Thunder Shocks and the next move, but the opponent decides to dump some energy. Smart play on their part. I can come in to Moltres now. They're almost in Sky Attack range. Sky Attack will be getting this thing into wing attack farm down range. The opponent actually shields it up, so I can now shield this move up as well. I've just got to get to the back-to-back moves. Weather Ball does draw my final shield. I'm almost at the back-to-back. They come in to Snorlax. I'm just going to take it out, as I've got 1 Sky Attack for Fatty and 1 Sky Attack for A9. But why throw Sky Attack when you can nuke with an overheat? GG's, and thanks for playing. Who doesn't love some unnecessary overkill? Moving on to the final battle of the video, we see everyone's favourite happy little flying charmer, Togekiss. Togekiss really doesn't have the best matchup against Magneton. I go for the first Magnet Bomb. The opponent shields it up. Are they going to switch? Apparently not, so I'm going to fire off 1 more Magnet Bomb. This is going to one-shot or draw a shield. The opponent double shielded. Mr. Opponent, you need to throw. They didn't throw. Magnet Bomb is going to take both shields and knock out. I'm going to pivot out into Charizard, but the opponent says, fuck that, and concede the match. So those were the battles with Shadow Magneton and the double flying fire types in the back. You can see Magneton either really hard won lead or hard lost lead. Anything neutral like a Snorlax or Giratina, pretty dreadful because of the lack of HP, but it does beat some top meta threats like Arourus. Not that I was seeing many, but apparently they're out there. Would I recommend the huge investment? Well, that's up to you. If you like a spicy, fun, hard-hitting glass cannon, go for it. If you're more of a meta player, then probably save it for idiots like myself. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing if you'd like your battles featured on the channel. A link to my battle submission form is down below. I'd just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.